Just to give you a little bit of history about CourtReserve, we started out mainly in the tennis industry, supporting tennis clubs and organizations. And then we soon moved to pickleball, and then we moved to ping pong and racquetball. We work with HOA and swim clubs. We work with local communities or small communities who may have one pool or one court. We also work with facilities who have 20, 30, and even up to 98 courts. Really, the purpose of today is to give you as much information as possible. So what we're going to do today is go through not only the desktop or the setup side, which I know you probably have questions around, but also your mobile side. See, CourtReserve has a mobile side as well for your members, your admin, your staff. So we're going to go through that first, and then I'll take you over to the desktop side as well. Again, we are so excited you're here. Thank you again for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I wanted you to see was just kind of a snapshot. People ask us all the time, well, where are your clubs? Where are your organizations? So I took this back, it's probably last November. And so it was a current snapshot of our sub-admins and admins on the platform at that moment all over the world. So of course, we're mainly focused on North America, but we do have organizations literally all over the world. So let's talk about the mobile app. The first thing you should know is that the CourtReserve app is free, or it's kind of included in the base price. So nobody pays for that. It's kind of something that's already there, but it is downloadable in both the iPhone and Android platforms. And it's really all about you. You'll probably hear me say customization or customize 14 times today, at least. This makes customization so easy because we work with so many different types of organizations. We need it to be able to work for you. So you'll notice on the left-hand side up in the top is your organizational logo. And then it's really based on permissions and restrictions that you give. So the first tab is called Announcements. You will see a red dot. This is indicative of a new announcement from your organization. So on the right-hand side is an example. So maybe you have a new spring break to announce, a new class, a clinic, a new coach. Whatever you want to tell your members, that's what that is for. Now, when I say members in CourtReserve, I'm talking about your players, your users, your members, your human beings that are going to be at your organization. We just call them members because it makes it easy to present. Under announcements, reservations, events, and calendar, those are all based on your permissions and restrictions. So what do you want your members to be able to do? Reserve courts, reserve a meeting room, reserve your Peloton bikes, take a class, a clinic, a camp, whatever you allow them to do, that's what they'll be able to toggle through and do on their mobile device. Now, I will tell you that no matter what kind of organization that you are, your members, over 80% of them will use their mobile device to do those things on their phone. We took a poll last year with all of our clubs, and literally, no matter what they did or what kind of organization they were, over 80% of their members were using the mobile device. So we've made it real fun and really easy to use. So under events, the next one I want you to take a look at is member directory. Now, again, this is customizable to your organization. You can use it or not. Your members can opt out or not. But basically, it's almost like a phone book for the phone. So remember those yellow phone books we used to get on our front doorsteps? So member directory allows you to publish either your list of members with an email or maybe a phone number. And you can also do that by custom ratings. So ratings in CourtReserve might be, you have a ladies 3-5 tennis group. You can actually make a member directory just for your ladies 3-5 tennis players and publish it only to those ladies 3-5 tennis players. So it makes it really customizable for your organization. Again, use it or not. Now, the next three, my reservations, my events, and my account, are all of the great things your members have already signed up for, reserved, and I'll show you in just a moment about my account. So let's talk about your members and their experience a little bit more. We make it really easy. So if you allow your members to book spaces or courts, it's easy to toggle through the days up on the left-hand side here. When they find a time they'd like to play, they click through and reserve. Now, if you have resources such as ball machines, or you loan out rackets or shoes or anything, you can also schedule that on the mobile app as well as a member. This is a screenshot of an approved court reservation on the member side. Now, a couple of things to point out. Everything's customizable: time, member name, guest name, if you have guests or not, court assignments, and then there's a fee. Court Reserve also has full payment integration with 2 different merchant provider companies. So they're already in Court Reserve. You don't have to charge for things. You might just be looking for a simple booking system, and we can help you with that. But of course, the purpose of today's webinar is to show you as much as what we can do for your organization. So again, if you charge your players for court times, your player can actually pay for their court times on their mobile device. They can also edit and cancel reservations on their mobile device. This screenshot shows just some examples of events. Events in Court Reserve are classes, clinics, camps, anything a group of people will sign up for, and it's easy to toggle through from a member's perspective. On the right-hand side is an approved reservation that I, as a member, could go in, update, withdraw, or even add my name to a wait list if necessary. Here's the My Account screen I mentioned earlier. Now, again, there is a lot of information going on here, but it's all customizable to what you want your members to be able to do. So if you don't work with Court Reserve and our payment integration, they won't see anything about fees or invoices. But if you do, they can see a lot. They can also look at their family members. They can also look at their membership. They can add a card on file, and they can modify their ratings as well, all on the mobile device. We just released self-check-in last week. Self-check-in is a great option for those clubs who maybe have a lot of players coming through the front desk, or a lot of our swim and HOA partners will use this as well this summer. Again, the player on their mobile device gets a barcode, and it's easily scanned at the front desk or at your pool or HOA club. And this allows for great reporting on the back end, especially around attendance and contact tracing and things of that nature as well. All right, let's talk about those instructors, your pros, those people who keep us engaged. Well, we love them so much that we actually created an entire module for them in Court Reserve. So if I was the instructor, this would be my schedule. I could actually pull it up on my mobile device. I could make myself unavailable or schedule private lessons, as well as I can see my other colleagues, other instructors, and what's going on their calendar as well. There's a member directory where admins and instructors can actually pull this up. You can make a quick phone call by clicking the phone icon, as well as send an email to any of your members. This is a screenshot of an event that I, as an instructor, have been assigned to teach. Again, a lot of great information on the mobile device. So you can see we have the date, the time, the number of registrants. We're going to use a ball machine. We can also view our players, register more players, edit or cancel this directly from our mobile device. I also want to point out there's a check-in button as well. The check-in is fantastic, as I said, and I'll show you that in just a second. But again, this is another view of a lesson as I, as the instructor, have been asked to teach or signed up to teach. And again, you see there's a cost here. I want to point out that if I, as the instructor, click the pay button, that does not mean $100 goes in my instructor bank account. It actually means I'm collecting on behalf of the organization. So again, the mobile device has so many great features and really allows for you to communicate well with your instructors as well as your members of your organization. Here's that great check-in feature I mentioned. Now I'll show you this on the desktop side as well, but check-in on the mobile device is great because now your instructors, they can just simply toggle over that button and makes it really easy, and also great for you guys when you go to pull attendance reports. Oh, wait till you see the reporting. It's fantastic. But again, we make it really easy for communication with your members. So, okay, I think that's enough on the member side. Let's hop over to the desktop side. Okay, what you should be seeing now is the member side of Court Reserve. This is the online. You can see the browser is up here in the top. This is what we call the welcome page. You get to design your own welcome page. It's almost like your website, your landing page in Court Reserve. So again, up in the top left-hand corner, this is all about your organization. It's your logo. You can design this as whatever you would like: pictures, graphics, policies, procedures, whatever you would like your members, your players to know. Now above this, these are those global announcements I mentioned earlier. So if this was a new global announcement as a member, I would have a red dot indicated here, as well as on the announcements tab up here in the top right-hand corner. Now, I do want to point out there are lots of tabs up here in the top right-hand corner. You may have already guessed. Yes, I'm going to say it. It's all customizable to what your organization needs. So let's take a look one at a time. Let's take a look at the calendar of events. Events in CourtReserve, again, are all those classes, clinics, and camps, anything you want members to sign up for. I can come out, I can look at a month at a time or maybe a week at a time. I can pull up and see, oh, well, some of these classes are already full. Maybe I need to be on the wait list. And I can also click and ask for more details as well. But if I wanted to see this in a drop down, I can click on the Events tab. The Events tab makes it easy for me to filter through. Maybe I just want to see the pickleball or maybe the gym information. So let me show you how easy it is from a member standpoint to sign up. So let's look at the Junior Orange Ball Clinic. I see different dates, times. I see there's a cost. This one requires approval. I can click for more details, or I can go ahead and register. So if I wanted to register any of my family members, see we have mom, dad, and 2 kids. I just click, I see the cost, and I click save. My registration has been confirmed, even though there's an approval process. I also just got a confirmation email. And again, this is super easy from the member side. Now let's talk about waitlist. Waitlist in CourtReserve works 2 different ways, depending on what your organization needs. The first way would be if the waitlist has been launched, everybody on the waitlist would get an email and it's first come, first serve. Or we also have auto register on the waitlist. If you use this feature, then the first person that fills that slot or the number of people, they would actually be auto registered to the event. They would get a confirmation email saying you have been registered to the event and you have done nothing but set it and forget it. So it depends on what that event is, I truly believe, and what works best for that event. But we have a lot of great waitlist features in CourtReserve. Again, you use what your organization needs. So again, we can come through and we can take a look at register for all dates, lots and lots of great things around events. Okay, let's talk about court bookings or reservations, or how about you let your members reserve different spaces? So you can see here, tennis, pickleball, bocce, racquetball, paddle. This can be different locations. So if you're actually managing different parks or communities, you can actually do that here as well. Custom schedulers allows you to really direct your members and players to what you want them to be able to book, where, and when. So let's take a look at tennis. Let's say you have 4 tennis courts, but you only want your members to be able to book on 3 of those tennis courts. So we've got hard court 1, clay court 2, and indoor court 3. If I'm a member, I would like to play at 3 o'clock. So I click the 3 o'clock reserve. I'm going to go ahead and play with another member of the organization. So I simply type their name in. Now, again, all of these people, pricing, court assignments, duration of time, everything's customizable. The ability to bring guests, match partner is a custom field. And again, disclosures and waivers. Well, if you need people to sign off on disclosures and waivers every time they book a court or sign up for an event, we can help you do that in CourtReserve. So if I click save, my registration's been confirmed if I pay within the next 15 minutes. Again, whether you charge for courts or not, we can help you. But how easy it is for your members to make a court booking in CourtReserve. If you have ball machines, we can help you do it just the exact same way as well. Now, remember on the mobile, I said something about that Ladies 3-5 Tennis member group? Well, here it is on the desktop side. So if I was part of the High Performance Juniors member directory, I could simply click and it would pull up the first name, last name, and email, because of course, this is what we have determined this to be in CourtReserve. Super easy and great for player matchmaking, but do be aware that in the next couple of months, CourtReserve is going to come out with player matchmaking, leagues, ladders, tournaments, round robin play. So we're really excited about that as well. Okay, before we go over to the admin side, I want to tell you, the reason that CourtReserve exists the way it does today is because of organizations like yourself. Again, over time, we have heard from clubs to say, CourtReserve's great, but can it do this or can it do that? So we probably release new features and modules every couple of weeks, and I'll show you where that is on the admin side. But again, the racket sports industry has really developed CourtReserve because of organizations like yourselves. Again, we've had organizations that said, we need a member portal. We need our members to be able to come out, click on My Courts, and look at all of their current, upcoming, and canceled court reservations. We need them to be able to see all of their current and past events, classes, clinics, and camps. We also need our members to be able to see all of their transactions because we want them to know what they owe us out the club. If you use batch billing is a way that a club can go in and members keep a card on file or an e-check on file, and you can come in. The system will once a month, when you go to process your batch, go in and send the email out, post this on the member portal, and then you guys basically collect each month what they have charged on their member account. This makes it really great communication with your member around billing. So, again, from an instructor standpoint, this would be a great person to have, $3,900 in private lessons. Again, I show you this because it's here if you need it in CourtReserve. Okay, I think it's time to go over to the fun side. If you are an admin in CourtReserve, you have the ability to go back and forth between the member side and the admin side by clicking this blue button. So of course, members don't have blue admin buttons. Just wanted to make sure you knew that. Okay, this is the scheduler in CourtReserve. Now there's a lot of information going on here. So let's really break it down. Colors, customization, this is all customizable. You knew I was going to say that. So if you color code your reservation types or maybe your instructors or what have you, this is definitely all something you can do. You can see the courts are named at the top. So we've got hard court, a clay court, indoor, pickleball, bocce. And if you have more courts than the screen allows, we have, of course, a drag at the bottom. Now, the one organization that we work with 98 courts, that's a lot of drag in here at the bottom for sure. So now, we have a drag and drop feature. So if you as an admin or maybe your front desk staff need to move this racquetball reservation, simply drag and drop. If we need to extend this time, it's a simple drag and open. Again, lots of great information here. Okay, I want to show you a couple of really great features. So let's click on this custom scheduler on the left called Tennis. And actually, I want to show you another one before I do that. Let's go over and take a look at combo courts. Combo courts means that in CourtReserve, you can take a hard tennis court that has 2 pickleball courts painted on this hard tennis court and keep up with the individual reservations. Let me show you. So we've got pickleball number 1. Let's make a singles reservation for 1 hour. And let's save. You can see here that pickleball 1 is reserved and now the tennis court is reserved. So nobody tries to come in. But we still have an open pickleball number 2. So let's come in and do doubles because I want you to see the difference in colors. All right. Now you can see pickleball 2 is reserved, but we can also split this court here. So again, it can keep up with those combo courts. We have a lot, not even just pickleball and tennis. We have basketball courts that do this. In fact, I just talked to an organization yesterday. They're a pickleball club, and they're going to use combo courts to split for cornhole boards. What a great idea. It's our first cornhole club. I love it. Okay, let's go back up to, let's do the pickleball one here. I think we've got some great events. Yes. So let's take a look at our event. So this is a pickleball spring pickleball clinic beginners. From a front desk standpoint, lots of great information. 3 registrants, bring extra balls. We know that Tim and Sam are the instructors that have been assigned to the court. We know that somebody owes us money because the $ is here. We know we have registrants to check in, but let's take a look at this icon right here. Now, again, even more information about our event, but let's go in and take a look. Okay, so you can see from this view, your registrants, you know who they are. We know what their cost is. We know that we need to take payment. We can collect payment from here. We can check them in. Remember the check-in feature I showed you earlier? We can reschedule them if necessary, and we can cancel their reservation if needed. Here's where we can pull attendance reports. We can even register a new member. So let's go in and quickly show you. You can pull up your entire club registry, and with the click of a button, Now this member is added to the class. Super easy and simple. Okay, let's go back over and I want to show you another great feature called the Audit Log. It's the magnifying glass here. The Audit Log is a fantastic way to see everything that has happened with this particular event, from the creation of the event, what admin or member created, and everything that's happened. So this is fantastic for those of you who have front desk staff or trainers. You know, sometimes people make mistakes in the system. Well, unfortunately, when they do, we're going to be able to tell you who did it. So you'll be able to go in and keep up with what's happening, who's registered, who's checked in, even t-shirt sizes and memberships and all kinds of great information in CourtReserve. It's like a lie detector on the computer. I think it's a great feature for sure. Okay, let's go up here and take another look at our instructor scheduler. If I was logged in and this was my instructor scheduler, I could actually toggle through the weeks here. If I wanted to see everyone else, all of my colleagues, well, let's take a look at today. And you could see here all of our tennis directors or all of our coaches. Now, again, another story of why we actually created this is because, again, we've got, Bailey Gray, she's a coach, she's on the court. Well, Dakota walks in with his mom. He wants to take a private lesson. Now your front desk can simply go in, look up the member, send a confirmation email to both the instructor and the member, choose a court, go ahead and assign it to a court. So we'll give him a pickleball lesson. You can assign a ball machine. You can add a note to the account, even choose miscellaneous items. And now your member's happy because they have their private lesson as requested. Your instructor's happy because she was on the court teaching and you didn't have to bother her. She doesn't have to go home tonight and look at emails and text messages about private lessons all day long. Everybody's happy. This is a great communication tool for all of your members and your staff. Okay, another view of the scheduler is called the Consolidated View. So we have here all of the correct or current number of spaces. So if you have more than one pickleball court or more than one gym or hard court, then you could actually come out here, say, okay, I need to see if we have a court available at 1 o'clock. Yes, we have 2. And it's easy to see from this viewpoint as well. I want to go ahead and show you what closures do. Closures are a great way. So here in Charlotte, we don't get a bunch of snow. We get lovely ice. So let's pretend it's going to ice. Let's say not, because it's 75 degrees today and lovely. So we're going to come in, we're going to close our courts today at 2:30, and we know we're going to be closed until Saturday morning. We're going to open back up at 9 o'clock. I want you to watch these 2 numbers, affected reservations and affected registrants. These are all the people, the human beings that are going to be affected when you actually close your club. So when I start clicking on courts, you can see those numbers. They just start to go up, right? So now you have a couple of things you can do. You can go in and you can see and reserve or, reschedule any of these people, or you can let the system do it for you. So depending on which you choose here, the system will go in, automatically cancel the reservations and the events. If they've already paid for them, it will issue a pending refund. It will email all of these people and let them know that the courts are closed and their event or registration has been canceled. Now you can go home and cook dinner and enjoy the ice or snow wherever you live. But this is really great. It makes it really easy, and it's a great communication skill and tool in CourtReserve if you need it. Okay, let's go over to events. Now, I know I kind of showed you that on the mobile device and on the member side, but I want to show you the customization around the setup. Let's take a look at the Spring Red Ball Beginners Clinic. You can see here, again, we've got our registrants, information about their membership, costs. We can take payment. We can check them in. We can email them. We can even assign a court. So those of you who have, maybe round robins or pickleball open plays, you can actually come in and assign your members to different courts. So let's go over and look at the setup of this, because I think you're really going to like this. So under general info, you can come in and customize a number of different categories. You can even do sessions. So you can go back and do reporting. How was summer session over spring session? We've got our max registrants, date and times. We've even got reoccurrences. So maybe we want to come in and say, okay, it's going to be every Wednesday, or maybe it's going to be a custom. So this week it's going to be on Tuesday, next week on Wednesday, the following week on Friday. Here's our single date drop-in registration. You can also do full date registration with prorated rates. Here's our 2 waitlist options. So basic waitlist and then auto register. Anytime you assign an instructor, a court, or a ball machine to an event, if there's a conflict or if they are already scheduled, the system will say unavailable so that you do not double book people or things. Now let's come on down here and look at more setup. So under event setup, you'll see we have several different memberships here. Now CourtReserve, when we say membership, it's a way to group people together, but we have a full membership platform. So I'll show you more about that in just a few minutes. But part of that membership tier is allowing you to do different drop-in and full registration prices. Maybe some of your memberships need to call the office and you won't allow them to register online. Maybe some of your memberships need to pay up front. Maybe some need approval. You can also do different drop-in registration start and end dates. Now, again, additional setup, you can add disclosures and waivers, anything that's appropriate for your club or information. You can also add specific check-in notes. So when they're checked in with our new self-check-in, you can be aware of things going on. But let's take a look at registration restrictions. Again, the story behind this is we work with a great pickleball club here in North Carolina, and they came to us and said, we're using events, but we've got this high level 4045 group. The problem is that Mr. 30 thinks he's a 4-5 and he keeps signing up. So what we did is we went out and we created the ability to restrict based on rating as well as member groups. So you as admins can go and create member groups and assign events to be restricted by those member groups. And if Mr. 30 is not in that member group, he will not be able to sign up. If you choose this box here, you can even hide this event if Mr. 30 doesn't match your restrictions and Mr. 30 doesn't even know this exists at all. Isn't that lovely? We're trying to help people be politically correct in CourtReserve. Okay, let's move over to memberships. Now, again, full membership capabilities. We can help you collect fees, monthly, quarterly, yearly, initiation fees. We can help with tax, lots of different things here, folks. And I mean, really, individual versus family, just whatever those membership needs are, we can help you with that. Now, if you are thinking or considering using payments within CourtReserve, we do work with 2 different payment providers. One does credit card and one does credit card and e-check, or basically a checking account or bank draft. That is a great way to save on credit card fees, because every time you go to Starbucks and you use your debit card or your credit card to buy a cup of coffee, Starbucks is paying a percentage of your transaction and a transaction fee. So that can get pretty costly for an organization. If you use e-check, well, that is way cheaper in fees. So we're happy to have answer questions or have another call. We can talk to you all about payments. But I will tell you that all of these transactional reports, wow, they have been created by all of the fantastic accountants at all of our great clubs. So we've got our full-on transaction list. You can come in and see unpaid versus paid, refunds, partially paid fees. You can come in and see a sales summary. You can come in and see an end-of-day report, because somebody at some time came to us from one of our accounting departments at one of our great organizations and said, hey, we need an end-of-day report. We need a daily revenue report. We need to be able to refund. We also need to be able to collect sales tax and post fees to accounts. I would say that more often than not, clubs or organizations either use payments from the get-go, or eventually they do add them because it's already integrated into CourtReserve. It makes it super easy. All of our transactional information is downloadable into Excel. So if you work with QuickBooks, you can import those into your QuickBooks and make your life a lot easier. Okay, let's talk about reports, because the thing about it is in CourtReserve, we already have all of your data. So a lot of times people will come in and say, I'd love to have a member report. I want to see all of the people that have joined in the last month, or I want to see all of the people who owe me money, have a balance. I want to go in and actually pull up my instructor time report and see how often my instructors, how many hours they had on the court. But this is my favorite report. We have so many organizations that, they need to have those conversations with a boss or a board of directors or, powers that are higher than they are, what better way than to give them data? We have the data. So this is a court utilization report, which means this is a heat map of how busy your courts are. So if you need a new pro or you need a new employee or you need to add some eventing, you can actually come in and say, okay, Tuesdays, Wednesday mornings, and Thursdays, those are great. But definitely on Mondays, we could add programming. Definitely on Fridays, we could add some more private instruction. Saturdays and Sundays, we need to open the doors and get these courts full. Again, we provide you with absolutely what you need. So if you need different data and you need it to spit out in a different way, all you have to do is tell us. We love updating the system for you. Let's come in and actually take a look at our point of sale. Now, you may have guessed it. Our point of sale is integrated into CourtReserve. A couple years ago, we had clubs come to us and say, we are paying over $100 a month for a third-party point of sale. Can you please just build us one? And we said, okay. So you can come in, your members can charge to a house account, you can process, you can run credit cards, you can print receipts, you can email receipts. It also has fantastic inventory management reporting on the backside, and we make it super easy and it's integrated into CourtReserve. So use it if you need it. Okay, I know that you have some questions and I can't wait to answer them, but I do want to show you a couple more things before we get there. So in CourtReserve, we define system users, your admins, sub-admins, and instructors by permissions. Yes, so you may have a front desk staff and you may come in and say, okay, Mr. Front Desk, you can create reservations, you can create events, but you can't do anything with payments or anything with membership. Everything is permission-based in CourtReserve. Now, I already mentioned that we have full-on instructor module that includes lesson types. So your instructors can come in, they can set up their semi-privates and Pro Plus 3. They can charge per member, and it works great. It is a fantastic way. Do note that in the next couple of weeks, our Book a Pro is coming. Book a Pro allows your members to be able to see instructor scheduling. We are really excited about that. It's a feature that was mentioned to us last year, and we are going to put it into play. Let's talk about emails. So automated emails in CourtReserve, your players, members, anytime they make a court booking or sign up for an event or get a payment receipt, it's all automated. Those are unlimited in CourtReserve. But we also give you 5,000 marketing emails each billing cycle or each month for you to use to market to your own players. So maybe you want to tell them about the s'mores cookout this weekend or a new clinic or a new camp. If you're paying for a third-party MailChimp or Mad Mimi account, you can actually get rid of that and just use CourtReserve. Okay, let's talk about booking settings. Those would be all those rules and permissions by which you want people to be able to do things in CourtReserve. So again, by membership type, you can come in and show how many time or how many days you want each membership to be able to book in advance. You can put in buffer windows. You can put in cancellation penalties. You can limit your membership types to how many guests they can bring to your club each month or each year. You can actually restrict the number of minutes that a member can book per day in CourtReserve. You can do it by reservation count. You can have concurrent reservations. You can even bypass restrictions within so many hours of making that reservation. If you need rules and restrictions, we have you covered for sure. Okay, let's go back out and take a look at members. How do your members, how do your players, your human beings, how do they get in the system? Two different ways. We have an Excel template that we can send over. If you have a good list of first name, last name, email, you fill the template out, you send it back to us, we import your data. Or you can use the sign up form. The sign up form makes it really easy for you guys to go in. You create the sign up form, including disclosures, custom fields, and then you actually send your link out with your membership form. Your new members fill out this form, and when they click save, then your little to-do shows up over here with this little red dot. This means that you have a new member to either approve or decline into your membership. So again, doesn't matter to us which one you do, it's whatever is best for your organization. Now, I did tell you already, you can go out and create your welcome page with any graphics or policies, but we also give you a separate one for your anonymous. So your anonymous welcome page would be for potential members of your club, people who don't have a login yet. So you can actually come in and tell them how great it is and why they should join your organization. All right. The last thing I think I want to show you is around widgets. Widgets are a way that you can embed code into things like your website, or this one is our lobby view widget. The lobby view widget allows you to put a smart TV or a tablet in the lobby of your organization. And then as a member, I can actually walk in and see that my cardio tennis clinic is on Clay Court 2 at 11 o'clock. This is great functionality, guys and girls, just great. Let me show you a couple other links. We've got Hurstbourne Country Club out in Louisville, Kentucky. You can see they've just kind of embedded the CourtReserve link here on their tennis page. And again, this leads you out to Hurstbourne's welcome page. I mean, take a look at these pictures. I think we should all meet and go play at the country club for sure. Just a beautiful place out in Kentucky. This is NEA Tennis, our friends down in Little Rock, Arkansas. They do a lot of after school programs. So if I was a mom and I wanted to sign my kids up, I go to the NEA Tennis website, and you don't even know that this is the CourtReserve event scheduler, and the event is already full. So sorry, folks, no tennis for us today. All right. Oh, this is Wolverine Pickleball. They are up in Michigan, and you can see WolverinePickleball.com. So if I was a member, I could come out and here's the court scheduler, and I could click on and sign up for 3-5 play. Again, this is functionality that if you need it, it's here. All right, a couple more things. I promise I'm going to answer your questions. Up here in the top right-hand corner, again, we have great ideas from all of our clubs, and we did a vote off last summer, and these were the most voted on features. So you'll see here an integration into QuickBooks, wait lists for court time, tournament managers, player matchmaking, so many things we've already put into play, but these are the next ones up and coming. And then when we release new ideas, well, we want to tell you too. So our release notes are here, and you can see just 5 days ago, we announced self-check-in kiosk. And so again, we want you to know when things are new in CourtReserve. We want to teach you, and then you and your organization, you guys can decide if you use it or not. It's just a great part of being in CourtReserve. Okay, when it's midnight and CourtReserve's asleep and you want to know more about how in the world do I set up my welcome page? I know Ashley was saying that we could go in here and set up a welcome page. Well, you just come out to our extensive articles and YouTube videos, and we're going to teach you all about this. So your next step is to get a trial account. I want you to come out to CourtReserve.com. I want you to click on create your free account. When you do that, Dexter, our little robot over here, he actually leads you to real live human beings who provide great support on our support team. They're going to help you get your trial account. The trial account actually becomes your real CourtReserve account. We have put some sample data in there for you to go in and kind of play around with it and kick the tires and see if you like it. And then we're going to hold your hand. We're going to take you step by step. We want you to set up some basic information, and then we're going to set up some one-on-one calls with you, do some onboarding training. We have monthly webinars all about CourtReserve. If you want to learn about memberships or how to set up events or financial transactions, we can help you do that. Probably one of the questions that you may have is pricing. We have a pricing page out here. Everybody pays the base price of $25 because it comes with all of this great stuff. And when you start adding courts and instructors, then it's kind of pay as you go and pay as you grow.